Well, my thoughts on the state of the movie business as it stands right now. Um, I think the movie business is not a bad business right now. I mean, for the most part, you can watch some pretty nice, decent little movies now. I got a chance to see The Crow last week, and a couple weeks ago, I got a chance to see Borderlands. And for the most part, as a average movie viewer, I thought they were decent movies. They wasn't the perfect movies for the most part, but a lot of them received some really bad backlash. Um, for majority of the movies right now, excuse me, that are coming out, I think a lot of people work. They want certain movies a certain way, and I think there isn't a lot of original movies in right now in the movie business. For the most part, I mean, there's no really good stories, and for the most times, they're decent movies, but there's no original stories. There's no like Matrix type stories. There's no movies that take it to a whole nother level. For the most part. Ready. Not Harry, and a lot of times, I think they could use movies that are like off the chain, different than most movies right now. A different type of storyline. And they should have these younger people write some of the stories because these are the people who are going to be going to the movies within the next couple of years. So they need some more people who can write some original stories, not just like AI type stories. They can go to AI and restaurant. I mean, like really good stories because there are some good stories out there that could be written, and I think for the most part, this is what they need to like revive the movie business right now. To keep it going. To keep bringing people to the theaters and stuff. When a movie costs 14, $15 to go see a movie, you definitely need um, some more original, ideals to get people to go to the theaters now. You know, a lot of people are not going to spend $15 on garbage. They want to see something that's totally different, that's off the scales. But like I said, for the most part, I tend to watch a ton of movies. I'm at the theater every week, so I see everything. I got all the streaming services. I got HBO Max, I got Disney Plus. Um, I got pretty much all of them. And I'm a generally good movie going person. And a lot of times I can watch garbage movies. Stuff that most people wouldn't watch. But right now there isn't a lot of good stuff out right now, in terms of quality stuff. Me being from the 80s, being the 80s kids, some of the stuff that they had come out back then was totally different. Stuff that was coming out in the 80s was quality stuff. If you think about some of the movies that we were getting back then, just really nice in terms of blowing you away by how good they were in terms of quality and stuff. But now it's not the same. Movies now they're totally garbage for the most part. I haven't seen any real good movies on the level of some of those '80s movies. And most of the movies that are coming out right now, there's nothing that can like say, man, I want to go see that again because they're not on that level. And I'm not big on a lot of good sci-fi. I'm a Star Wars person, but for the most part of it, like I said, there's nothing that's really cool and it's gonna make me run to the theaters, and go see. But we'll see. Like I said, the next couple years, the movie business has to reinvent themselves. They got to start making movies that are gonna draw these people in. You know, Maybe they need to get a focus group together. Get it where they can start making movies, on a different scale. You might have to take multiple writers and try to come up with complex stories, to get people to come to these theaters and stuff. Because like I said, you can go to the library and read some of these fantasy stories and some of these books, and they have some really good ideas if you actually took the time to sit down and read some of this stuff. But there's quality stuff out there. But like I said, some of the stuff that's coming out at the theaters is not so good. I mean, I went Sunday, and like I said, I got a chance to go see. I got a chance to go see. Um, I seen two movies actually. I got a chance to go see The Crow. And I know a lot of people hate it. They gave it a lot of backlash and stuff like that. But I actually enjoyed the story for what it is. You know, it has some very complex things going on in it, but I actually enjoyed that story because it was so good. I like the fact that they took it a different approach to do that movie. I think the movie doesn't have the right amount of put together, like it wasn't put together like it should have been, but I think the movie has an interesting story where, it could have been totally different and it could have took off way better than it was received at the theaters and stuff, you know. But I'm trying to think what movie did I just recently seen. I seen this movie yesterday, and I actually enjoy the story. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. There's a movie out right now, and it's a story about a rich guy taking these two girls to Paradise Island. And I think some of y'all know what I'm talking about. But for the most part, I went to go see that yesterday, and that story was pretty good for the most part. I've not seen nothing like that since the movie Get Out. Because it had like that weirdness of Get Out, and most people know what Get Out movie was, and it still had like that same type of premise, and it was original to me because, like I said, I haven't seen a movie like that before, and the movie itself was phenomenal for what I seen, and I thought, wow, who put this movie together, and it was really good. They even had Zoe Kravitz, the actress. I think she directed the movie, so it was it was actually a pretty decent little movie, for what I watched yesterday. And I'm trying to remember the name. It was called Blink Twice. That's the name. Blink Twice is the name of the movie. And for those who haven't seen it, go check it out. But for the most part, I thought that was I was really good. For the most part. It had a nice little story to it. The premise was pretty decent, and after the first, second, third act, oh my gosh, I was blown away how good it was. But like I said, my idea is they got to start coming out with better scripts for some of these movies, and getting maybe younger people ideas so that they can draw more people to the movie business right now. Just find somebody who watches a lot of movies, who's young, who has good ideas, and have them start putting some of these movies together. You need more like original comedies, stuff like that, that have families come and stuff like that. That way we can keep the movie business going. Because at this state, I'm getting kind of scared. It makes me wonder if some of these movie studios are going to be able to keep making movies because they're not going to be able to draw people to come to the movies. And it's sad because this generation doesn't watch movies like people of my generation in the 80s now. They want to watch it on their phone. They don't want to go to the movie theaters. It's like the movie business is totally out of their aspect. So, we got to get it where there's stuff that they want to see and is willing to bring them in every week, so that you can keep the movie business going. But that's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to get off of this right now. But that's about it for me.